describe the validation bills. Each year, you'll see in the California Legislature a series of validation bills, which enact the first validating act, the second validating act, and the third validating act. And these acts are intended to validate the organization, boundaries, acts, proceedings, and bonds of state and counties, cities, and specified districts or agencies or other local entities. And they're required to have a number of provisions. For example, they have language to ensure that the organization of public bodies is validated. And it says generally all public bodies heretofore organized or existing under any law or under color of any law are hereby declared to have been legally organized and to be legally functioning as those public bodies. There's also a provision that ensures that the boundaries of public bodies have been validated, and you'll see language along the lines of the boundaries of every public body as heretofore established, defined, or recorded, or as heretofore actually shown on maps or plats used by the assessor are hereby confirmed, validated, and declared legally established. You also have language that ensures that all acts and proceedings of public bodies are validated. And so you'll see some lengthy language about acts and proceedings taken by any public body under law or color of any law are confirmed, validated, and declared legally effective. It includes all the acts and proceedings of the governing board of any public body and of any person, public officer, board, or agency heretofore done or taken upon the question of the annexation or inclusion or of the withdrawal or exclusion of territory or the consolidation, merger, or dissolution of those public bodies. There's also some very extensive language about ensuring that bonds of public bodies are in fact validated. And so you'll see, again, similar language about acts and proceedings in connection with authorizing the issuance, sale, execution, delivery, or exchange of bonds by these public bodies for any public purpose is authorized, confirmed, validated, and declared legally effective. It includes all acts and proceedings of the governing board of public bodies and of any person, public officer, board, or agency that's taken upon the question of authorization, issuance, sale, execution, delivery, or exchange of bonds. It'll also have language that says all bonds that are relating to any public body shall be in the form and manner issued and delivered, will be legal, valid, and binding obligations of that public body, and other extensive language. These validating acts will also have provisions that ensure that certain acts taken pursuant to legislative authority are validated, as well as specify that the validating act does not operate in certain ways. So for example, you'll see language that says this act shall operate to supply legislative authorization as may be necessary to authorize, confirm, and validate any acts and proceedings heretofore taken pursuant to authority the legislature could have supplied or provided for in the law under which those acts or proceedings were taken. Also, that this act shall be limited to the validation of acts and proceedings to the extent that the same can be effectuated under the California Constitution and the United States Constitution. But it also says some items that are not covered. So for example, you'll see language that this act shall not operate to authorize, confirm, validate, or legalize any act, proceeding, or other matter being legally contested or inquired into in any legal proceeding now pending and undetermined, or that is pending and undetermined during the period of 30 days from and after the effective date of this validating act. You'll also see language that says this act shall not operate to authorize, confirm, validate, or legalize any act, proceeding, or other matter that has heretofore been determined in any legal proceeding to be illegal, void, or ineffective. And then lastly, this act shall not operate to authorize, confirm, validate, or legalize a contract between any public body and the United States. The validating acts will also have some provisions that require any effort to contest the validity of actions or proceedings to occur within 6 months of the effective date of the validating act. So you'll see, for example, any action or proceeding contesting the validity of any action or proceeding heretofore taken under any law or under color of any law for the formation, organization, or incorporation of any public body, etc., shall be held to be valid in every respect, legal and incontestable. The act shall not extend the period allowed for legal action beyond the period that would be barred by any presently existing valid statute of limitations. And of course, it requires that any effort to challenge shall be commenced within 6 months of the effective date of this act. Otherwise, each and all of those matters shall be held to be valid and in every respect legal and incontestable. We'll also see some provision requiring specified paperwork for the public body that's being created, or any boundary changes that they need to be filed in compliance with certain government code provisions. Those are set forth in Chapter 8, Sections 54900 and following. And it'll say something along the lines of nothing contained in this act shall be construed to render the creation of any public body or any change in the boundaries of any public body effective for purposes of assessment or taxation, unless the statement, together with the map or plat required to be filed pursuant to the government code, is filed within the time and substantially in the manner that's required by those government code provisions. The other item that we'll often see is an urgency clause, which of course allows the validating act to take effect immediately upon the signature of the governor and the chaptering of it with the Secretary of State. And so we'll see standard language that this act is an urgency statute necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, or safety within the meaning of Article 4 of the Constitution and shall go into immediate effect. The facts constituting the necessity are in order to validate the organization, boundaries, acts, proceedings, and bonds of public bodies as soon as possible. It is necessary that this act take immediate effect. And there are 3 of these bills that are enacted each year, and they are authored by the Senate Committee on Governance and Finance each year.